Elyria, Ohio, a place where time seemed to stand still. A small town nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering cornfields. Life was peaceful, simple. People knew their neighbors, they greeted each other with warm smiles and friendly waves. Kids rode bikes down Main Street, their laughter echoing through the air. They played without a care in the world, their innocence untouched by the complexities of life. The biggest worry was Mrs. Henderson's fruitcake at the annual bake sale. It was a tradition everyone looked forward to, a symbol of the town's close-knit community. No one locked their doors. Trust was the foundation of this community. Everyone felt safe, secure in the knowledge that their neighbors were looking out for them. No one had a reason to. Until now. A sense of unease began to creep in, subtle at first, like a faint whisper in the wind. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the town. It painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, a breathtaking sight that masked the growing tension. Crickets chirped, fireflies blinked, the night seemed perfect, a serene summer evening that held a promise of peace. But beneath the surface, something was stirring. It was a perfect summer night, but something was changing. The air felt different, charged with an energy that was both exciting and terrifying. A darkness was creeping in, unseen, unknown. It moved silently, like a predator stalking its prey, waiting for the right moment to strike. It started in the shadows, a flicker of movement, a rustle of leaves. The forest seemed to come alive with an eerie presence, a shiver down your spine, a feeling of being watched, the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end, a whisper on the wind. Something was coming, something that would change Elyria forever. Every town has its legends, stories whispered around campfires, tales meant to send shivers down your spine. Elyria was no different. Deep in the woods, it was said, something lurked, something big, something hairy, something impossible. Bigfoot. The name sent chills down the spines of children. Adults just chuckled. A myth, a story to scare kids. No one truly believed it, they shouldn't have. Because in the shadows of the forest, something was watching, listening, waiting. The legend was about to become all too real. It started subtly. A farmer reported missing chickens, then a cow vanished. Strange noises echoed from the woods, howls that sent shivers down your spine. Footprints, massive and impossible, appeared overnight. People started talking, whispering, worrying. The stories spread like wildfire, each tale more outlandish than the last. The missing livestock could be explained away. Coyotes, bears, but the footprints, the sounds, there was no logical explanation. A sense of unease settled over Elyria. The shadows seemed to grow darker, the nights longer. Something was out there, and it was getting closer. Fear and suspicion gripped Elyria. The once peaceful town was now divided. Some dismissed the strange occurrences as pranks, others whispered about the legend of Bigfoot. The air crackled with tension. Neighbors eyed each other with suspicion.
Arguments erupted at Miller's General Store. The town council meeting was standing room only. The sheriff, a burly man named Tom Harris, tried to maintain order. But even he couldn't shake the growing sense of dread. Something was wrong in Elyria, and no one knew what to do.
Sheriff Tom Harris, a man who'd seen it all, had been the backbone of Elyria for over 2 decades. He'd handled everything from petty thefts to the occasional bar brawl. But now, he faced something he couldn't explain. Something that defied all his years of experience and training.
I've dealt with a lot in my time, but this is different. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. The fear in the townsfolk's eyes, the strange occurrences, it's unsettling.
Dr. Emily Carter, the town's only doctor, was skeptical at first. She had always relied on science and logic to explain the world around her, but the fear in her patient's eyes gave her pause. She couldn't ignore the growing unease that seemed to grip the entire town.
I've always been a woman of science, grounded in facts and evidence, but the fear in their eyes, it makes you wonder if there's something more, something we can't yet understand. It's hard to dismiss the collective fear of an entire community. It makes you question everything you thought you knew.
Jake Thompson, a young, adventurous reporter for the Elyria Eagle, saw this as his big break. He had always dreamed of uncovering a story that would put him on the map.
This could be the story of a lifetime. If I can get to the bottom of this, it could change everything for me. I just need to get the facts right. I've been digging through old records, talking to locals, trying to piece together the truth. There's something here, something big.
Then there was old Martha Jenkins, who lived on the edge of town. She'd always been a bit of an eccentric, known for her wild stories and superstitions. She'd always warned about the creature in the woods. Now, people listened. Her tales, once dismissed as the ramblings of an old woman, were now taken seriously.
I've been telling folks for years. They laughed at me, called me crazy, but now they finally believe me. The creature is real, and it's out there. It's been lurking in the shadows, waiting, and now it's making its presence known.
Sam Rodriguez, the high school football coach, scoffed at the rumors. He was a man of action, not one to be swayed by ghost stories. But even he started carrying his rifle everywhere. The strange noises at night, the feeling of being watched, it was enough to make even the most skeptical take precautions.
I don't believe in fairy tales, but I'm not taking any chances. Better safe than sorry, especially with my family to think about.
Ethan Blackwood, a recluse living deep in the woods, remained silent. He knew the truth. He'd seen the creature, and it terrified him. The memories of that night haunted him, the glowing eyes, the guttural growl. He knew it was only a matter of time before it struck again. The first encounter was terrifying. A group of teenagers out camping stumbled upon it, a hulking figure covered in hair, with eyes that glowed in the darkness. They barely escaped with their lives. Their story sent shockwaves through Elyria. Denial was no longer an option. Bigfoot was real. The town held its breath, waiting, watching. The shadows seemed to deepen. The nights grew colder. The creature was out there, and it was only a matter of time before it struck again. Fear hung over Elyria like a shroud. Fear turned to anger. Anger fueled action. The once peaceful town of Elyria was now a hive of activity, driven by a collective resolve. The people of Elyria wouldn't be victims. They would fight back. United by a common cause, they gathered their courage and prepared for the hunt of a lifetime. Sheriff Harris organized a hunting party. He knew the risks, but also understood the necessity of confronting the unknown. Armed with rifles and flashlights, they ventured into the woods. Each step forward was a step into the unknown, but their determination was unwavering. Determined to find the creature, to stop it. They knew the stories, the legends, but now it was time to face the reality.
All right, folks, stay close and keep your eyes open. Every shadow could be a clue, every sound a warning. We're not coming back without answers. This was more than a hunt. It was a quest for truth.
The woods were dark. The canopy above blocked out the moonlight, casting eerie shadows on the forest floor. The air thick with tension. Every breath was heavy, laden with the weight of anticipation and fear. Every rustle of leaves sent shivers down their spines. The forest seemed alive, whispering secrets and warnings. They tracked the creature for days, following its massive footprints, each print a reminder of the beast's size and power, listening for its chilling howls. The sound echoed through the trees, a haunting melody that kept them on edge. But Bigfoot was always one step ahead, a shadow in the night, elusive and mysterious, always watching, waiting. The hunt had begun, but the outcome was far from certain. It happened on the night of the annual Elyria Fall Festival. The air was filled with laughter and the smell of popcorn. People were distracted, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. Then, without warning, it attacked.
Bigfoot tore through the festival, flipping over tables, scattering food and decorations. People screamed and ran. The creature's roars echoed through the night. Sheriff Harris and his deputies opened fire, but the bullets seemed to have no effect. The creature was unstoppable.
The sun rose on a scene of devastation. The festival grounds were wrecked, buildings were damaged, and the people of Elyria were left picking up the pieces. Physically, the town was wounded, but it was the emotional scars that ran deeper.
Dr. Carter worked tirelessly, tending to the injured, broken bones, lacerations, and the shock. It was in their eyes, the fear, the disbelief. Elyria had always felt safe. Now that safety was shattered. The creature had taken more than just their sense of peace. It had taken their innocence.
Life slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy, but things were different. The laughter wasn't as loud, the smiles not as bright, the shadows seemed darker, the woods more menacing. The creature was gone, but the fear remained. The legend of Bigfoot was no longer a legend. It was a stark reality, a constant reminder of the town's vulnerability. The attack had left an indelible mark on Elyria, a scar that would never truly heal. The question wasn't if the creature would return, it was when. Years passed. The memory of that night faded. But the legend of Bigfoot lived on, whispered around campfires, told to wide-eyed children, a cautionary tale, a reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the light. Elyria rebuilt, stronger, more united. But the woods remained a place of mystery, of fear. People still spoke of the creature, of its glowing eyes and deafening roars. The legend of Bigfoot had become a part of Elyria's history, a chilling reminder that even in the safest of places, danger can lurk in the shadows.